So by this point you probably know what a formula in math is. It's like an equation that helps you find certain measurements. For example, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. And I like to think of these as recipes, where the ingredients to the area recipe of a rectangle, recipe, you've got to have 1 cup of length with 1 cup of width. Multiply them together, right? A very common formula looks like this. D equals RT. This is called the distance formula. You can find the distance that anything travels if you know the rate, so this is the rate, and you know the time. Well, what does that mean? Rate is how fast it's going. So let's say it's going 20 miles per hour, or you might say 20 meters per second. The rates can be in any different measurements that deal with distance and time. So miles per hour or meters per second are very common rates. Time is just in 5 seconds. Or 20 hours, so seconds, minutes, hours. Now you want to make sure that your rate, if it's in miles per hour, that your time is also talking about hours, not seconds. Or if your rate is meters per second, then your time is in seconds. So anyway, let's take a look at this. So how far does this little dude walk? Okay, he's walking along. How far does he walk? So I'm asking you the distance. How far, that's the distance, does he walk if he's walking at 7 miles per hour for 5 hours? He's going on a 5-hour walk. Well, first step, always, write the recipe down. What is the formula? Distance equals rate times time. I wrote it down. Now I plug in the information I know. Here's the rate. Here's how fast he's going. So that's going to come, and go in right there. And this is the time. And notice we've got hours here and hours here. Do a different way to write hours, but anyway, time goes in there. So now I'm going to rewrite this. Distance equals 7 times 5, because this is multiplication, happening right there. Rate times time. So, 7 times 5, distance then is 7 times 5, which is 35. What would the units be here? What should I write right here? 35, well this is distance, so 35 hours? No, hours isn't distance. Should we do meters? No, check this out. We are talking about miles per hour, and he went for 5 hours, so our distance is in miles. Now, this is kind of weird, but m by itself actually means meters. Miles needs to have an I there. So this miles per hour is an abbreviation, but it actually is miles looks like that, and hours typically looks like that. So one more example, because what if you were given the, let's see, we got distance equals rate times time. What if you were given the distance? Somebody went 40 feet. Okay, we're going to say they went 40 feet, and they did it in only 8 seconds. Whoa, they went 40 feet in 8 seconds. They must have been running fast. And the question is, how fast are they going? What is their rate? Well, you wrote the formula. You've got this information. Now plug them in the correct place. 40 feet is the distance, so I'm going to plug it in there. 8 seconds is the time, so I'm going to plug it in there and rewrite this. So 40 equals R. We don't know R yet. We have to figure it out. Times T. T is 8. I'm going to put it in parentheses. That still means multiply. So 40 equals what number times 8? What number times 8 gives you 40? Oh, 5 does, right? So R equals 5. What would the units be on this? Well, it's rate. We're talking about feet and we're talking about seconds. So this would actually be feet per second. So they are running at a rate of 5 feet per second. Every second they go 5 feet because they're booking it. So that's how you use a formula. You use the information you know to find the information that you don't know. In this case, we knew the total distance they went, we knew how long it took them, and so we figured out how fast they were going, the rate. All right, knock your socks off.